Hello guys and girls and welcome. Apologies for the dramatic entrance today, but every time I talk about PvP, that's the music I see in my head. So today we're going to be looking at some low level arena, which is 2v2 and 3v3. Tauren versus Gnome, Troll versus Human, fighting to the death in the arena to see who's going to come out victorious. So for now I'm going to be playing a Rogue. I'm specialised as an Outlaw, so my main abilities are going to be Sinister Strike and Pistol Shot to build combo points and slow my enemy down to stop the buggers getting away. I have a couple of finishing moves, which is to dispatch the enemy or to stun them. I have a blind, a kick to interrupt spellcasting, and a couple of defensive abilities to keep me alive. Generally, my gear is heirloom, so I'll talk about heirlooms a bit more in another video. If you want to have a quick look, check out the link below, and there's some extra information on how to get heirlooms and how they benefit you. So most of my gear is heirloomed, and then I've got a few dungeon pieces that we pick up along the go. And on my talent, obviously low level. At the moment, I'm currently level 30, but the recorded bracket is in the 20 to 29 range. So I'd just be starting off with this bracket here. In my opinion, the best talent for low level PvP is Quick Draw, which reduces the cost of your pistol shot on proc, and then when it goes off, it does a ton of damage. So let's not keep you waiting any longer. Let's get stuck in.
Okay guys, this is a 3v3 in Blade's Edge Arena. We're playing a Rogue with a Hunter and a Shaman, and our enemy is a Hunter, a Resto Druid, and a Paladin. So the big things to look out for are the damage dealers, so we want to try and lock them down as a Rogue, stun them or CC them to stop them doing damage, and we want to jump on that healer as quickly as possible to make sure that they're not healing their teammates, and it gives our team an opportunity to kill some people. So we're just going to sneak around the back here in stealth. As you can see, the Hunter's taken a bit of a hitting already. The Druid's just about to heal up, so I'm going to stun him and make sure that all the time I've got him locked down so he can't do any healing. The Hunter still sat at half HP, as you can see on the right hand side. So even if this Druid gets away, we can stop, turn around and kill him. As it is, squishy little Druid didn't last very long. We got focused there a little bit, so we're just going to hide line of sight and make sure we don't get shut down. With one dead, it's pretty much a guaranteed win 3v2 most of the time anyway. But the Hunter drops, and then as we go around the corner, we've just got the Retribution Paladin, who's fighting for his dear life. So fairly easy matchup. Probably the Hunter did a lot of the hard work. Our job as a Rogue is not necessarily always do the most amount of damage. We're locking people down and making sure that they don't get away and they don't heal. So with this one here, we have a 2v2 matchup. As you can see, I'm with a Warlock, and he's just passing me a Health Stone, which is a really handy extra to heal me up, and I'm going to make sure I put that on my bars. And we're fighting a Retribution Paladin and a Prot Paladin, which is going to be pretty tricky for us to kill. So we're going to jump in 2v2. The Warlock is probably going to get hit first because he's wearing cloth. So I'm going to try and get in as quickly as possible and sap one of them, which is a CC, to stop them both immediately hitting the Warlock in the face. So we're going to approach up here, and unfortunately they're both Judgment the Warlock, and they're both straight into combat straight away. So I'm going to try and lock down the Paladin to keep him off. Unfortunately he bubbles, so now he's free reign to kill the Warlock. I tried to blind and CC one of them to keep them off the Warlock, but it's too late. So now both the bubbles are up. It means they don't have any more protection abilities, but they both have a heal. So I throw an interrupt there to try and reduce the healing, but because there's two of them healing, it's pretty difficult to get these guys down. I get stunned, trinket out, I pop my health cooldown, my trinket, my health stone, everything, but these guys are not going to die. So I try kiting one away just to see if I can get lucky enough to pop up and kill one, and then reset, as they call it, but unfortunately they get me just before one of them dies. So when you're playing Arena, you're not going to win them all, let's just say that. So here we go, guys. This is the Retribution Paladin and the Prot Paladin who just beat us with that Warlock a second ago. I'm sure as hell not letting that happen again. So the best way to get better at Arena and improve is to learn from your mistakes. So last time we played with the Warlock, this time it's a Hunter. Both range classes, the chances are these guys are going to go and hit the ranged guy again, the Hunter. So last time I made the mistake of not getting in quick enough, and I didn't sap one and take him out of the fight. So this time I'm going to try and get in a bit quicker, sap one straight away, and try and separate him from the fight, to give the Hunter a bit more room to breathe. As it happens, I sapped him straight away, stunned him, and now my Hunter's sat back there quite comfortably, shooting away. So the first Paladin bubbles out of my CC, but at least he's used that cooldown now. And the second Paladin, because I gave that Hunter a bit more room when the fight first started, he was able to pump a huge amount of damage into our enemy. So just for safety, I re-stealth, make sure that I have a good jump on the Paladin if needed, as it is the Hunter wasn't really required. But that way, that simple fix on that mistake changed that previous loss to a comfortable win. So next game we can see here we're up against a prot paladin and a rogue. We're actually with the same hunter, so often if you find a guy or girl you like playing with, you can queue as a team and re-queue. So I know this guy can handle himself, but when we're approaching this one, and it needs to be really, I need to bear in mind of where the rogue is. Yeah, he's doing the same thing as I'm trying to do. We're trying to lock each other down. So I open up initially and jump the paladin and he bubbles. So I think the smartest thing to do is to back off and watch for where the rogue's going to pop out. He's either going to jump me or the paladin. So I stealth, get back close to my teammate, and look out for that rogue. There he is. You can almost predict their movement. You know he's going to want to jump that guy. So the rogue's the one that's going to lock down the hunter and stop him doing damage, so I want to stay on him. And the paladin's healing quite a lot. So the best thing to do, I think, is to CC the paladin. So I blind him. Again, give the hunter a bit of room, and then I can open back up on the paladin. I get a nice little interrupt there, and he's got absolutely no chance. Nice, easy win. But by just sitting back, I can jump on that rogue and stop him from opening up. Okay, so this arena is going to be a little bit trickier. We're actually in a rogue mage combo, which is really good actually. There's lots of CC, lots of damage, but we're against two rogues. And at our current level, we don't have too many defensive mechanisms. As we level up, there are loads of abilities we can pull to keep ourselves alive, but at the moment we don't have much. So I've actually respec'd for this game for subtlety, just because of the shadow step. It means that wherever I am, I can, if my mage is getting hit by a rogue, I can shadow step directly on top of that target, just to try and hit them and keep them off the mage. I feel like it gives me a lot more mobility. So early game, you know, two stealth classes on both sides. The mage is obviously not a stealth class, but he has shadow meld because he's a night elf. So we're both kind of looking around the arena to see if we can find the other person. As you can see in the bottom, I'm tapping number 4, that sat button, and I'm also pressing my tab key. So I'm basically looking and hoping that I can see another stealth character walk past me, and I can get them out of stealth. Because if we can get the jump on them, that obviously gives us the head start, which is really beneficial. All the time I'm doing this, I'm keeping an eye on the mage in the background, because at some point, two nasty little buggers are going to jump on him and start kicking him in the ass. So, who's going to be first? I'm pretty sure, there we go. You can see the rogue just popped out of stealth there. So again, that shadow step immediately allows me to get on top of him. I stun him, but he trinkets straight back out. And now what I'm doing is I'm looking for that blind to take one of them out of the fight. Now, because of our lack of communication and we're just doing skirmishes, I unfortunately blind the rogue that the mage is hitting. So I'm hitting one rogue, the mage is hitting the other, and both of the targets are on really low health on the right hand side there. Whereas if we'd have communicated a bit better and both hit the same one, we easily could have killed one out of the fight. I could have backed off and re-stealthed, and we would have had a much better chance of winning. So the big thing I learned from this fight is watch what your teammate is doing. If you don't have the ability to communicate, watch them and make sure you're both hitting the same target. You've got a much better chance of winning. Okay, so coming up to game number 7. So this time I've changed back to Outlaw. I find it a bit more fun to play, a bit more comfortable, and you also have an extra stun at a low level, which is really beneficial. In the other specs, you don't actually have a stun until you're a few levels on. So I'm playing with a warrior this time, which is a huge damage dealer, and we're up against an enhancement shaman and a feral druid. Now this is where my experience of knowing the other classes really benefits me, because I know that enhancement shamans are incredibly what we call squishy. You can kill them quickly, they don't have many defensive abilities. So I'm not going to hang around, I'm going to jump straight on him and unload as much damage as possible into him and try and get a kill in the first few seconds. As you can see here, it's fairly simple to do. The druid that he's playing with, I've blinded and taken him out of the fight again. Because he's a druid, he has the ability to shapeshift and heal, stun, sprint away really quickly, and generally be a bit of a pain in the ass. So if they're much harder to kill, they have heals. So really, a lot of the time, you're not going to want to take on a feral druid. You're going to want to take on their competitor. So in this scenario, the enhancement shaman was an easy pick-off. Okay, so this time round, it looks like it's going to be a 2v2. I've queued up. The game's just about to start. But there's no enemies on the right-hand side, which happens sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't load up who you're fighting against. So the game's counting down. I'm playing with a holy paladin who's going to be my healer. So the chances are I'm going to have 2 enemies to walk into. Now, as the gates open up, suddenly I see 3. Actually, this is a 3v3 and our teammates decided not to show up. Now, a lot of people at this point are just going to bail, but that's not me. I'm going to sap one, take one out of the fight, and then I'm going to see who the best target is to hit. So I'm going to go hit the healer first and see what happens with my teammate. So my teammate instantly bubbles, giving him time to kind of free himself up. The healer I'm hitting bubbles, and I've managed to blind out the other DPS. So the paladin's just playing against the rogue right now. He's pretty low, but he's keeping himself top up, and we don't have too many interrupts at a low level, so he seems to be doing okay. Luckily, the paladin comes and jumps on me. He's protection, so he's not going to do a huge amount of damage, and I think I'm able to kill this holy paladin and get him down if I act quick enough. Brilliant. So now I can see the rogue still on my paladin. My health's actually dropping pretty low, so I want to get over there and make sure that I'm in line of sight so he can heal me. And now it's 2 versus 2. And as long as I can stay alive for the next few seconds, as long as I can keep a little bit of distance, and as you can see here, I'm kiting them so they can't actually hit me, gives my paladin a little bit of extra time to heal me up a couple of times. And now the rogue's got no chance. He's got no healer. His paladin's asleep, not healing him, not doing anything. So now it's 2v1, and we've managed to turn around that 3 versus 2, where in all honesty, no one ever thinks they're going to win the 3v2. By making the right decision, by taking the people out of the fight at the right time, we've managed to turn it into a victory. So I think we mess around here with the prot paladin for a little while. Prots are a little bit harder to kill, and then just as we're about to kill him, he bubbles and drags our time out a little bit longer. I think I back off and stealth up a bit here, just because then as soon as his bubble wears off, I can again jump him, stun him down, stop him healing, and generally being a pain in the ass. So it's obviously a win at this point. The guy's just spending more time. So the big thing here is as soon as those gates open and you see who you're playing against, try and make a decision of who's the biggest threat, where's the healer, and when does my healer need me to act? When do I need to get over there, stun somebody, pull him off of him, and give either my healer or the ranged damage dealer a little bit of space to do damage to make sure they survive? And here we go, 3v2 victory. It's always a lovely, proud moment. Okay, so here we're playing Rogue Ret Pally versus Rogue Warrior. I think that if you have a rogue on either team, you don't want to jump out early because it leaves yourself exposed. So here, I should have waited to see what happened with this 1v1, but instead I engaged straight away on the warrior, and it gave the opportunity to jump and open up on me. So he cheap shots me almost straight away, and as soon as that stun is over, or the meantime he's hitting the paladin, the stun's over, I blind the rogue. Unfortunately, he trinkets straight back out, and immediately they're both back on my teammate. The warrior backs up a little bit, and now I'm onto the rogue. Now the paladin bubbles. As soon as that happens, I should know they're both going to swap to me, and I should back off, but I don't act fast enough. I should have popped my health trinket, I should have popped a load of things, and I could have survived. However, I didn't. The paladin's bubble's worn off, and now he's going to die. Lots of quick successive mistakes ended that match. This is going to be another quick fire match, Rogue Hunter against Rogue Warlock, so I'm going to want to jump straight on this Warlock. He's made of cloth and I want to put some damage in. The Rogue's either going to sit back and jump me, or he's going to go and hit the Hunter. Now the Hunter's already started damage on the Warlock, and by the time I reach him, he's on about 50% health. The Rogue's just open up on the Hunter now, but I know that I can kill this Warlock way faster than the Rogue is going to kill the Hunter. So I range stun him to give the Hunter a little bit of space. I blind him then to keep him in line of sight, and at this point the game's already over. I'm going to chase him around the box to make sure he can't stealth or to get out of the way, but he's not got a chance to survive here. Very quick, easy match. Okay, so 3v3 is always more complicated playing with 6 players rather than 4, obviously. So we have a Rogue, Hunter, and a Resto Shaman on our side, so we're going to try and protect our healer and give the Hunter a little bit of space if we can. And we're playing against Holy Paladin, Rogue, Hunter. It's almost a mirror team. The only thing is the enemy Paladin has a bubble we need to think about. So the Hunter's the highest damage, we need to keep an eye on that. The Rogue's going to be the one locking down our healer, so we need to see where he is after he pops out. And then obviously we're going to try and keep on top of the Holy Paladin and interrupt any heals that we have. So I make my way around sideways to see if I can start from the back and sap anybody to take them out of the fight straight away. And as I'm kind of creeping round, I see that there's a sap on my Hunter. The Rogue's trying to take him out of the fight, and then my Shaman's already been jumped. So instead, my Shaman's already getting hit, so I'm going to jump on the Rogue, put some damage into him, and start making the enemy healer panic because he's out of line of sight. So he's blinding me, and unfortunately I don't have a trinket right now, so I'm going to wait for that to wear off, re-stealth back up, and readjust where I'm going to go. So the Shaman's taken a huge amount of damage, as I said, and the Hunter's going to be the biggest one for that. So I jump on, stun him, try and keep him off my Shaman to give him a tiny little bit of breathing room, and then the enemy Paladin tries to throw in a heal to kill the Hunter, so I blind him, and then the two of us manage to finish it off. As you can see, both the healers died at the same time, so now it's between me and my Hunter to kill them and their Hunter. So I've got my parry up, my riposte up to make sure I do a load of damage. I pop my health trinket and my heal, probably a little bit late, but again I'm managing to kite this Rogue, and all the time that Rogue is hitting me, my Hunter stood way back there piling in the damage. So it was a close fight, a few mistakes made, but I think overall a good match. So here we are again with Hunter Paladin versus Hunter Paladin. This is what we call a mirror match. And there's a few different ways that we can approach this. For me, my favourite is the element of surprise. Jumping in as quickly as possible and throwing them off guard. They might be discussing it, they might be making a plan, whereas if I get stuck straight in there, it puts them on the back foot. So my plan is to jump straight in. I'm mounted up so I can get a little bit closer to them more quickly, and I'm going to jump the hunter straight away. I'm expecting that the rogue's fairly close and that he's going to jump me straight away, so I've got my defensive cooldowns on the ready. So I let the pet go in first, he picks up the trap, and then I stun and open up on the hunter. Now, a bit prematurely, I agree, I pop my defensive cooldowns, the rogue's still in stealth, not to be seen, but I kind of expected him to jump on me straight away. As it is, the rogue does open up on me fairly quickly, so I pop my health cooldowns and everything as planned, and all I'm trying to do is get that hunter dead before I'm dead. And now, just as I die, the rogue's on just under 70% health, and it gives my 100% HP hunter, who's got range, a much better chance of winning. So it's very burst, very kind of, guns blazing, jump in. But I think in this scenario, we got the upper hand, and that rogue at that point there, unless he can get away from the pet and go and stealth and heal and reset, he's not really got a chance to kill the hunter. So again, fairly simple match. There we go, guys and girls. That's our rogue low-level PvP. I really hope you've enjoyed the carnage. I know I have. If you have enjoyed the content, it would really help me out if you could drop me a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any more. And one last thing before you go, drop a note in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you if you've seen the video. Let me know if you want to see any other classes, or let me know if you want to see me do some battlegrounds or some different content. Hope to hear from you guys soon. Have a fantastic day.